Hi guys, welcome to this video. So this is part 2 of the video that I shot when I flew down to Australia when I went on holiday for the first time. So flew from the United Kingdom to Australia. It was my first ever flight. I say, if you watch the last part, I stopped off in Hong Kong for 16 hours. By the time I got on this next flight, I was absolutely shattered. I was exhausted. I was just kind of falling asleep at the gate before we got on the flight. So as soon as I got on the flight, I just fell asleep. When I woke up the next morning, I guess it was maybe 6 a.m. local time or something like that I woke up. We were just landing straight into Cairns, where we basically got off the plane, and I guess they put some more fuel in or something, and a few people, got off and swapped over, and then we just went back out and got back on the plane again. I actually grabbed something to eat while I was there, so I'm just going to start it running and I'll talk you through. So we're back at the departures board. So this was Brisbane and Cairns we're flying out, and this is Hong Kong airport. You see, it was fairly busy because it was middle of the afternoon when I got back in from my tour. I bought a new battery for my camera when I was there at the New World Centre. So that was one of the purchases that I got there. It was kind of decently priced, so it was good, and it really helped me out on this this trip, because the battery that came with my camera, lasts maybe 30 or 40 minutes in those days on a full charge, and the new battery I got would last me like 3 or 4 hours, meaning that I could actually explore the city or go off and visit places and just shoot footage all day. So a bit of a cheesy title on there, but it was early days, and being able to do something like that was quite impressive back in '99 when I was editing this. This is landing into Cairns itself. Was absolutely beautiful place, and I actually went back there many years later in the mid-2000s when I lived in Australia. I managed to get back out and actually went back out to Brisbane as well. It's a lovely place, but yeah, this was Cairns Airport. Not a lot there, very small, quiet airport. Lots of GA, lots of general aviation craft there, and it was fascinating also seeing the very different kind of scenery. It's the bush that's out there is very particular and interesting. This was inside the place. You can see quite a while ago they had the big screens for everyone to watch the movie on, and the things on the back of you, so it's everything playing the same thing. You had no choice of what you could watch. It was just whatever they were showing. There's a bit of Cairns from the sky. You can see the beautiful waters there just after we'd taken off, and we're just turning around to fly down the coast of Brisbane. I'd never seen kind of water like that before in my life, and was just completely blown away by how beautiful the places were that I was visiting. This was to be my holiday of a lifetime, and I am reflected in the screen, and they were heading down, and just couldn't take my eyes off the wonderful scenery out there. This was me heading down to Caboolture. So when I arrived in Brisbane, I was supposed to be hiring a car, but I didn't have like a deposit or anything like that on me when I arrived. didn't have a credit card at that time, just had a debit card, and so I was only fairly young in those days, early 20s. So yeah, so I couldn't get the car that I wanted, so I just ended up getting a taxi to the hotel and then just went around by train and things like that. And this was the bus, this was the train station, Caboolture train station. This is the bus to Bribby Island, which is not far from Caboolture, and it was a beautiful little place. It was very quiet and serene. And after I've been to there, heading back in the evenings, just the sounds. You know, you can hear the chirp, 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 chirp of the cicadas there, and it was very like so loud. And I was just kind of feeling like, I wonder where these things are. I wonder what they look like. Tried to find them, couldn't find anything, you know, because these things are masters of disguise. That's the Carlton Crest. That was the hotel that I was staying in. Mara News next to it, are close to Mara, which is a term we use in Cumbria as a friend or fellow Cumbrian. We call each other Maras. That's why I filmed that and put that in. That was just a spider hanging out next to one of the walkways in Brisbane that crosses the river. It was not far from the hotel. Right up there, and yeah, just, you know, some traffic. This was a sign that I saw that made me laugh. So I decided I would film it. It's a 20 minutes quickie from $2. You can't ask for better than that. So yeah, convenient and quick. Oh yeah, turned out it was a car park. This is a building in Brisbane that was referred to as the Ghostbusters building, because it kind of looks like, yeah, the Ghostbusters. And when I went back there many years later and met up with a friend of mine who then moved and was living in Brisbane, he always said, yeah, that reminded him of Ghostbusters as well. This is on the South Beach, or the south bank of the river. There was like a public paddling pool area there, and like fountains. People were going there doing exercise. There was lots of artwork and sculptures and things like that along the walk along the river. That was under one of the main bridges running over the river there. So there was like artwork down there. There was so much stuff. It was beautiful. I mean, it rained when I was there for a little bit, but it was like dry 20 minutes later, and I just kind of couldn't get my head around the fact that it would rain and then be dry again. And some of the wildlife, the lizards that were hanging out by the river. Again, you know, when I hadn't travelled much then, I hadn't seen many things like that. I found it fascinating. And some of the flowers down on the south bank, and some of the yachts and things owned by all the people there, just in the harbour. So I just walked down that area, and as I was a bicycle thing on a tree. I guess they were expecting the tree to run away or something. This bit we were back in the centre of thing, and I found it fascinating that they stopped all the traffic and let the people walk, and then let the traffic go, and then stopped all the traffic and let the people cross. I was so used to traffic lights actually, sequencing and switching around, so there was never ever a complete stop in traffic, and you would cross one road and then you would cross the next road if you needed to cross in like 2 steps. But this was just, no, we're going once and that's it, you know what I mean? So, and everything just stops at once, and then everyone gets to go again. This is coming up from one of the train stations, I believe, or maybe it'd been like in like a shop or something like that. I did go into a shop and I found a hat when I was first there, and that was the hat that I was wearing. The other one, I bought that on the first day, just around the corner from where the hotel was. I needed it to protect the head from the sunshine, and there was a lot of statues, a lot of artwork around and sculptures around everywhere. This is one of the birds I found fascinating, and there's to look at. But people there consider them to be like seagulls in the UK, a bit of a pest. They go around, pulling things out of bins and everything else. So it was back on the south bank, some of the fountains and water work there. As you can see, the things burning out on that with the exposure because of the standard definition. This, I've no idea what was happening. They were just some people that turned up. So they kind of put a light inside this balloon, and then they suspended it up in the air and just had it glowing. I don't know if it was for a film shoot or something they were doing, or whether it was some kind of experiment or test. I just filmed them for a little bit and just kind of kept out of the way and filmed some of the fountains. And then this was the view from the hotel I was staying at, which was nice. It looked over onto a park just across the board from us, and so these artworks were just dotted all around the city, right in the heart of the city, right near where I was staying. So I'd just go out and film them, have a look around, and see what was there. There's another one of the birds who are just hanging out next to that fountain. And then up the coast was Movie World, and I had to get on a train and travel up there. So I was actually down the coast, right? It's kind of south from Brisbane. It's not too far, and it's Warner Brothers Movie World. I actually ended up working not far from here, actually on this site, but not on Movie World, but actually on the sound stages just behind Movie World, for a company there when I was working on the movie Australia, when I lived in Australia. And there was next to this movie park, kind of theme park, was like a water slide park, and we actually spent our last day of the film production being working on at the water park, because we managed to finish early, so we spent the day. The company paid for us to go to the water park. It was a good day. Nice end to it. I got terribly sunburned, and there was many things there for you. So you got the Wile E. Coyote, Roadrunner, and Batman was going around, people posing, getting photos and things like that taken with their Warner Brother heroes. And this thing, there was actually, I was filming, and then lost the feed actually just beaten up the Joker at that point, and I missed it all. I was up the other side of the street, but I thought, oh well, I might actually get a decent shot of him running. Pretty cool. So that was the end of my trip and my time in Brisbane that I did on my edit. That video is slightly longer than the Hong Kong one, as I only spent 16 hours in Hong Kong, and in Brisbane I spent kind of a week in Brisbane, and then flew down to Melbourne using Ansett. I think I flew on Ansett, which is no longer in existence. That's how long ago that was. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching it. I certainly enjoyed taking that trip down memory lane again, and trying to get back in my headspace of why I filmed things and why I edited things the way that I did when I was there. And join me back for part 3, where I talk about Melbourne and my trip up to Albury, Wodonga, and the time that I spent in Melbourne.